been on this journey for about since 2005, Tina.
Mm-hmm.
I try to document it as coherently as possible in my memoir. But ultimately, I just believe that DNA has memory, and in the 21st century, a lot of information comes to us in our dreams or in what those things called deja vus. And just upon seeing you, Mark, and see you being the fighter that you are, the intellectual that you are, and your steadfastness as a human being, as a professor, it just seemed to be very in line with many of those same mindsets and spirits from a very long time ago that is through our mothers and our mothers' mothers, the very reason why we're here today, to still make an impact and make a change. So I'm just very curious to see where your DNA ancestry link lies and see if there's a historical connection on why you're doing what you're doing so passionately and doing it well, and see if you done it before. Because I wrote an article for HuffPost a long time ago that said we are who we were, and I'm curious to see if we're cousins today.
Wow, how awesome would that be? Iyele, you study Africa. Iyele, you study Africa and the African diaspora. How significant is it as a cultural shift for Black people to do this? We have somebody writing in, Jeremy Simpson, Kringle, who says Renaissance of genealogy, cultural renaissance. So those are two very interesting things. One is a biological, genealogical thing, and the other is a cultural thing. How do those two things connect?
I don't think there's actually a disconnection between those things. I actually agree and want to echo everything that Brother Isaiah was saying. It's beyond biological, of course. It is cultural, and I think that's important because connecting with our ancestors helps us get reoriented in terms of how we see the world. We can reconnect with, I guess, our worldview, a worldview that was more healthy, more appropriate, more complete for us. And so I think that's kind of one of the things it does. I think it takes us to a very specific part of our bloodlines. I think we should see ourselves connected as a group of people on the planet as Africans, but I think there's nothing like connecting to the blood that runs in your own veins. So I think, yeah, it helps us get our orientation together, and it doesn't just connect us with our past. I think if we look at what an ancestor is from our African perspective.
I was given this wonderful rebirth in 2005, and I found out my mitochondrial DNA and my maternal lineage. I share lineage with the Mindi Kimni peoples, and on my father's side, I share ancestral link with the Mbundu out of Angola, currently out of Angola, and residing in Angola today.
Wow. And since then, have you been studying and traveling and making sure that you connect to both of those places?
That's a bit of an understatement. I currently hold my dual citizenship with Sierra Leone that was given to me April 26, 2010.
Wow.
That made history simply because the president wanted to say to the world that we're giving you this citizenship solely based on my DNA. And I'm working on bringing others, like Whoopi Goldberg. We're planning to take her back and get her citizenship. And the reason we're doing this is intentional. It's just to get celebrities and more attention on, not throughout the diaspora, but particularly in Sierra Leone, so we could have a different kind of rebranding conversation. And if you're from Sierra Leone, we'd love to try to get you back and get your citizenship as well, because that's what Marcus Garvey wanted. When I was growing up in Houston, Texas in the 70s, just to talk about Africa was a no-no. It was almost virtually taboo. I'm part of a generation that is reversing that slowly but surely. And I think as long as we continue to have a conversation about it, then maybe 100 years from now, my work, our work will be done. And all of the African Americans who choose to consider themselves that, we don't even have to use that moniker anymore. If you choose to get a citizenship, you cannot have multiple citizenships, even if you share European ancestry. Disclaim all of your ancestry, and I believe that we respect and acknowledge all of our ancestral links, that we can find some kind of holistic and authentic healing as we move forward as human beings. I really believe that.